Ches, Mishnah Aleph. This Perek Ches, deals with the Yom Kippur that we are familiar with, that we have every year, and is not connected now to the Beis HaMikdash and to the Avodah of Yom HaKippurim. So, says the first Mishnah, Yom HaKippurim osa ba'achila v'shtia u'rechitza v'sicha v'ines hasandal v'tashim shamitza. There are 5 prohibitions, 5 inuyim, as we'll discuss soon, on Yom Kippur. Achila and shtia, the Gemara says, is counted as 1. So there's eating and drinking, that's 1 prohibition. Rechitza means washing one's body. Sicha, anointing one's body with oil. Ne'ilas hasandal, wearing shoes. And tashmish hamitza, cohabitation, marital relations, are forbidden on Yom Kippur. Those are the 5 inuyim, the famous 5 inuyim on Yom Kippur. Now the Gemara dashes them from Psukim because it says the word tanu or inui 5 times. For example, the Pasuk says in Vayikra Tes Zayin, the Pasuk says B'chodesh hashvi be'esel hachodesh tanu es nafshoseichem. The 2 Psukim later it says Shabbos Shabbosin hi lochem v'inisim es nafshoseichem. Then it continues in other Psukim, it says inui 5 times, and we darshan from here that there are 5 types of inuyim. Now, there is an important machlokus. Which are deraisa, which are drabanan? Are they all deraisa? Some deraisa, some drabanan. So this is a machlokus rishonim. Everyone agrees achila and shtia are deraisa. More than that, not only are they deraisa, but they and only they carry the issa of kores, which is the most severe punishment for eating or drinking on Yom Kippur. Why? What about the others? Rechitza, sich, and ilas hasan, and tashmamid are the other 4. What about those? So Tosfos and the Rambam learn that those are only midrabanan. However, the Ran and the Smag say that they are also d'oraisa. The other 4 are d'oraisa, but they just don't carry the issa of kores. What is unique about achila and shtia? Well, only about those does it say inui nefesh, as opposed to just some v'inisem. So only about those does it say inui nefesh with regard to achila and shtia. With the others, there is no mention of inui nefesh. And therefore, either they're d'oraisa or they're drabanan. But either way, because the other 4 are a little bit different, either because they're drabanan, or they're not mafurish b'kra, they're sort of derived from the psukim. So either way, there are some leniences in certain situations, as the Gemara goes on to say. V'hamelech v'hakala yirchatzu es peneihem. A king, and indeed a kala, in the first 30 days after she gets married, there is a dispensation given that they can wash their faces. Even though this is one of the 5 inuyim, they are allowed to wash their faces on Yom Kippur. And why dafka these 2? Well, the Melech, the Pasuk says, in Yeshaya Lamed Gimel Yud Zayin, Melech b'yofyoi techezeno einecho. The king, his appearance is very important, and it's vital to his position, and therefore he's got to look very presentable, and therefore he's allowed to wash his face. And similarly, the kala, in order that she shouldn't be in any way repulsive to her husband, she's allowed to wash her face in the first 30 days. For Chayei Adam in Paskins, that nowadays, since we spend the whole day in shul anyway, a kala hasn't got this dispensation. There's no basis for it. There's no need for her to wash her face nowadays. She's in any event spending her whole day in shul. Continues the Mishnah. V'hachaya tinol es hasandal. A new mother, during the first 30 days of giving birth, the cold floor may be harmful to her. So therefore, she is allowed to wear a sandal, some sort of shoe, literally a sandal, but she's allowed to wear a shoe which she would otherwise not be allowed to wear. And similarly, any sick person or someone who is affected by the cold would be allowed to have this dispensation. Divrei Rebbe Eliezer, these are the words of Rebbe Eliezer. The Chacham argue, and the halacha indeed follows Rebbe Eliezer, and therefore these dispensations it might be appropriate. Now, just a couple of points, and they are, first of all, that the prohibition to wash doesn't make a difference if the water is cold or warm. Either way, you're not allowed to even dip your little finger into the water. However, it's only washing which is pleasure related. If, however, the washing, for example, is to rinse food, you're preparing some food for children, or for example, there's some mud, or there's any physical dirt on a person's body, then that would be okay, because you're not doing it for pleasure, it's just to remove the dirt. That's number one. With regards with regard to the Tashmish HaMitzvah, the final, the fifth of the prohibitions on Yom Kippur, the halacha is not only the actual Tashmish HaMitzvah, the actual marital relations, which is also, but all the harchakas, the various safeguards and precautionary restrictions which are discussed in Siman Kuf Tzati Hey in Yeridea, they are also actually in place on Yom Kippur as well. That is the end of Mishnah Aleph.